Hey everybody, here I am at Gold Beach again. And anyway, I wanted to talk about reading. One thing I appreciate about this area, there's over 20 libraries in the Coos and Curry County area. When you get a library card from any one of those, you can go to and check out books anywhere in any of those along the coast, southern coast. And so I think it's awesome. They also have movies and, CDs, games. The assortment in the Curry County Library in Gold Beach is great. They just have everything, large print, this and that, and audio books, and all the newest books they get. If you just want to go there and read any newspapers from the Wall Street Journal or the Eugene Register Guard or the local papers, they're all there, and it's all free. Paid for by tax dollars, I'm sure. But anyway, that's a great asset. And the more I age, the more I realize when I look around and listen to people and see things, and especially about the current climate change deniers, that kind of thing. I think people really benefit from reading, and I don't say just go in and just start reading books, but read newspaper articles and try to get the factual information. Read science books if you find that interesting. There's plenty of books about ecology and the environment, dating way back, and they make sense, But even if you don't want to read that, just read anything. Pick up a book, a magazine, whatever. I like books, I like fiction and nonfiction. When I was in junior high, I liked all those World War II books, especially the submarine ones, and then the PT-109 with John F. Kennedy. Those are really great stories and inspiring. Always keeping in mind that books are books. Just because it's in a book don't mean it's true. But like Sam Clemens said, never let the truth get in the way of a good story. So you gotta have kind of a feel for what is true and what isn't. It's also like fake news now. People really, I think that's kind of why I think people should read more. Because if they had some basic facts and knowledge just from various areas, and they see something on the internet, they would probably think, nah, it's fake, that's not real. Why should I believe it's real? Question that. Check out some sources. You see Dr. Joyce Brothers giving her opinion, that's real, it's her opinion, okay? She's a professional, or any other professional. It's their opinion, sometimes based on fact. Neil deGrasse Tyson bases everything on fact, science, physics, biology, whatever. Not to say he's 100% right, but if you don't like that, read somebody else. I'm reading a book right now called The Disappearing Spoon, and it's about the table of elements, like gold and nitrogen and carbon and all that stuff. Just the fact that it has a certain place on that table makes a difference. They combine like elements together. But this guy, and I wish I could remember the name of the author, it's the first time I heard of him, and he's probably still alive. He's young enough when he wrote the book to be, whether he is or not, I don't know. But he makes each element interesting and fun in some ways, or scary too. So anyway, that's just one source of information. If you read something like that, then you hear something that contradicts what you read in a book that's backed up by other scientific knowledge in the acknowledgments section. Well, you kind of, okay, I think I'll go with the book. But that's just my opinion. Everybody should do what they think is best. I just think reading, and I've loved reading my whole life. Nonfiction, like I said, in junior high, graduating to fiction. I really like a lot of fiction too. There's Jack Kerouac is a great fiction writer, but it's based on his actual real life experiences. So when you read that, that's a good challenge to know, what is real and what is not. Now, Jack Kerouac, he wrote a slightly different style. He didn't revise his stuff and try to make himself look like an angel or something, he says. And so anyway, when you read his book, that does kind of reflect. It's kind of rough and it's gritty. He makes up his own words sometimes. But all in all, when you're done with his book, you feel like you went on an adventure. And his books are different. They're not all the same. And so, you get a cross between, okay, he probably did do this. Maybe he went and lived in a lookout tower somewhere in the Northwest. From the sounds of it, he knows it pretty well. But some of the adventures may be a little dramatized. Anyway, this is going on longer than I thought. I didn't mean to go off on authors. Vonnegut, Kurt Vonnegut is a really good author I would recommend. Sherman Alexie, very interesting. His book Flight is one of my favorite books. I wouldn't say the best, but one of my favorite books. You can get all types of celebrated authors and stuff. I try to avoid people that write for TV scripts that you see a lot of, that you see big books, 100 different titles in bold writing, big thick books, all looking the same. You can watch TV, get a lot of what that has in it. But getting into a specific time and place in the author's mind, living in a different world, or having this one explained to you through books is incredibly important, as are teachers. The teachers are the ones that give us those tools and inspire us to do that. I was inspired right from my first grade teacher, Mrs. Bennett, and Mrs. Childs after that, and on and on. I could, all my teachers I loved and respected, and I so appreciated, especially now, their encouragement to read from back in the 60s and the early 70s. Really makes a different world to me. It helps me to use logic and comprehension in the real world. And when I look at the people on TV and in the internet that just seems to be oblivious to reality in some ways, unhinged and happy to do that. But that's neither here nor there. People live their lives, and I think that's great. In America, you can do that. I don't think you should push anything on anybody, really. You can't impose your will on people how to think or worship, what to read, where to read, what to wear. Those are things to avoid. I love America. Peace.